Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe to the Volumes YouTube channel to get more content just like this.
Okay, let's talk Urban Meyer, okay? Because Urban Meyer is back in the news cycle, dude. Urban's big break. That's right, Urban returning to TV. And I will say this. I felt like this was inevitable. I felt like he was really excellent on television the first time around. Like, I still think about the studio clip where he's explaining the zone read. And like, he was a pioneer of a lot of the concepts that have now shaped modern college football. I think the most shocking thing is still, why in the hell did he choose to go to Jacksonville, do what he did, and basically burn a reputation that was built up over a lifetime, right? Like, it is the ultimate like, nobody could have ever said here, if he had never taken the Jaguars job, nobody could have ever said here and called Urban Meyer dumb, right? And I still don't think, like, I think he's obviously very football smart, right? But like, if you would have said that, you'd be like, that's ridiculous, dude. Look at his resume. Now people can say that and nobody bats an eye. It's just completely wild to me how when he got that Jacksonville job, he basically did everything that we have all accepted that you are not supposed to do when you are a college head coach going to the NFL. It was like, instead of best practices, he actively engaged in all of the worst practices. And yeah, his reputation took a massive hit.
It did. And I'll say this about coaches at both levels, especially at the NFL level. They think, and they should. I mean, this is for all great athletes. I'll tell you that. The best of the best, they border the line of cocky and confident. Like, you got to kind of tiptoe it a little bit. Like, you got to think you're the baddest dude out there. You got to think you're a coach that could take any average player and make them an All-American or a Pro Bowler or whatever it is. And that's Urban. I mean, what has Urban done his whole career? He's won championships. He's produced Heisman Trophy winners. He's produced first-round draft picks. He's produced All-Americans. Well, why can't I take that success that I had in college and then do that in the NFL? That's the way these coaches are wired. But that's what makes them successful, because they have that belief that I can do anything, that I can turn a franchise that is complete garbage into a contender in the NFL. And you have to have that cockiness, because if he would have gone in there thinking like, oh, I'm just taking over this job in Jacksonville, this is going to be just ho-hum fun. No, like, you got to walk in there with your chest held high and say, I'm Urban Meyer. I've won championships. I've been one of the best coaches in college football in the past 15, 20 years. I'm going to walk into this job in Jacksonville. I'm going to turn this damn franchise around. So I love the confidence that he had leaving Fox, going to the NFL to take on that new challenge. Completely respect the man. What he did off the field and what he did kicking a punter, do not have respect for. So I think it's a little premature.
No, worse than a punter. He kicked his kicker, like a guy who on the NFL level, the guy who on the NFL level is the literal difference between you getting fired or not, like you making the playoffs or not. Like, you have to respect that man. And I do want to be clear.
You mean respect the kicker or respect Urban for kicking him?
No, I want you to respect the kicker. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
Kickers get a bad rap, but at the end of the day, we all have to rely on them. And on the Jags,
which is still crazy to me. Go ahead. We have all these big, strong men on a football field, yet we do rely on a majority of games coming down to a kicker to win it. Do we
what
have
a wonderful quirk.
What a crazy I love game it, dude. Play.
Exactly. That's my point, right? It's like how I view, like, when I look at cornerback and offensive tackle, they're two jobs that are actually incredibly similar, right? You're on an island, you're having to react to an elite athlete that knows what they're doing, and yet one guy's the biggest person on the field, one guy's the smallest person on the field. Like, there's just a beautiful kind of mirror, funhouse mirror image there that just speaks to the wonderful, quirky nature of football. Yeah, football's not a very intuitive game. Look, Urban's problem was not going to Jacksonville. I'm not saying that. I'm glad he took the job and everything. I'm just shocked that someone so football smart, like, did we not learn from Nick Saban? I thought after all the Nick Saban Miami stuff,
but he wants to be better than Nick Saban. He wants to be.
No, that's what I'm saying. But I thought that, but in terms of how to achieve that, like, I thought we knew you can't go to the NFL and treat these kids like they're college kids. And yet that's exactly what he did. And it's crazy to me that he did that in 2021. And obviously it blew up in his face, dude.
Well, I agree. The way he went about, once again, I agree with him going to take the job. He's a competitor. He want to get back into coaching. What's that next challenge in life? I've already excelled at multiple universities in college, from Utah to Florida to Ohio State. What's that next step? Let me go give the NFL a chance. I don't fault the man for having the cojones to go out there and take a job in the NFL in a very tough place like Jacksonville. Obviously, the way he went about it, the way he coached, some of the stuff he did off the field was bad. Just plain out bad, bad, bad. You should not do that as a human being. Uh, but this gets back to our topic of, why would he go back to Fox this year? I think he should have taken the year off. Like, I don't understand why jump back.
Yeah,
There's
let
so
it
much
calm down a little
negativity
bit.
around it. Let it calm down a little bit. Like, Fox will give you your job back in a year.
Yeah.
And then this goes to point B here. Fox's desk right now. I remember I turned on the Fox, the pregame show last year, and it was obviously Rob Stone, I believe, was heading it off. You got Brady Quinn, you got Matt Leinart, you got Reggie Bush, you had Bob Stoops, and then Urban, and you're just like, man, the desk either needs to get bigger or you need less people. It just looked really crammed in. It was too tight. Like, they didn't need to add Urban Meyer to an already filled up desk. Like, you look at ESPN. They have 4 guys on the desk. They'll rotate Pollock in and give coach a break. So it's 4 guys. CBS, you turn on their pregame show. It's just 3 guys there with Zucker and Neuheisel and Brian Jones. Then I turn on the Fox. It's 6 dudes literally shoulder to shoulder, looking like they're uncomfortable as hell, not having an opportunity to get a point in. It's like, you don't need 6 dudes on the desk. So
Brady Quinn's just too jacked.
He is too
That's
jacked.
the real problem. Brady Quinn is too jacked. It was a literal problem when he was playing football. They told him, you have to get less jacked because you're lacking the flexibility to throw the ball as effectively as you need to. Okay, I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to ask Chat, a very interesting question here, Aaron. You're the head of a college football program, okay? Would you hire Urban Meyer to be your college football head coach?
Depends on what program I am. If I'm a elite program, I would say no. If I'm a program that's a little bit desperate to win,
so you're West Virginia.
Yeah.
Give me. You're West Virginia.
Yes, okay. I would.
Okay.
Yeah, it's how desperate are you? I mean, how many drinks have you had that night, and do you want to take the 5 home or not? That's the question we're at right now.
Dana. I mean, let's be clear. West Virginia, no strangers to coaches who are going to have 5 drinks and maybe.
I would. It depends on the university. It depends on the university if I'm going to go to that level of taking him right now. In a year from now, like I said, if Urban would have taken the year off, done some community service work, done some good, worked on the PR, got his name back a little bit, then yeah, maybe you could have seen, hey, maybe if Scott Frost moves on for Nebraska, maybe he goes to Nebraska. Maybe he takes a job in the SEC if one of those up. Like, then yeah, I could have seen him taking that tier of job. But the big boys, I just don't know if they would want to go after an Urban. And right now too, like, Urban, you've made enough money, you've won championships, the NFL didn't work out. I'm sure Fox is paying you a boatload of money. What is the use of going to go be a coach at the moment? Just sit back. You work 5 months out of the year. You get to enjoy an off season, do some traveling. You owe your wife some traveling, and just be a good husband.
But that's the problem with these coaches, Aaron. It's exactly why you said a couple of days ago that you don't want to coach. They're just wired differently. Yeah. Like, they're so obsessive and they're so all in. Like, and this is probably why I'll never make that money. But like, any normal person that had their money would not work, right? Like no, I would just be chilling, living off it. Maybe invest a little here or there, live somewhere low cost to live, and just kind of relax, travel. Like, but these coaches, man, they love it too much. They have too much pride. Like, they're just wired a bit differently. And it's sad, man. I agree with you. If you're a major institution, I don't think you could take the PR hit, but no. I would have Urban Meyer coach my college football team. He's proven to be such a dominant college football head coach that, yeah, I feel like he could bring success. I mean, he did a Utah, Florida, Ohio State, everywhere.
T-Bob, so your school, LSU, your alma mater, was up for obviously a new coach this year. Would you have had beef if LSU hired Urban Meyer this year instead of Brian Kelly? Not saying that like he was like, hey, it's not. I'm not saying like, hey, LSU, we're down to 2 guys right now. It's either Brian Kelly or it's Urban Meyer. Like, if Brian Kelly's still the head coach at Notre Dame, there's no thought about him leaving, and you guys went inside and hired Urban Meyer, what would your thoughts have been?
Okay, so there would be part of me that would be like, this is a bad hire simply because LSU the last couple of years has been dealing with a bit of a culture cleanup itself, with like a lot of like sexual harassment and Title IX allegations. Obviously, Urban Meyer's former staff members have been in some similar waters that he arguably, covered up for. Coming off of the Jacksonville firing, it would have felt like yeah, like you said, the stock is just so low at that time that if you're a
Mhm.
major blue blood program, I just don't think that you could do it. Now, if LSU had, there would have been some small part of me that I probably would have had to quell or not put out there publicly, that very selfishly and cynically and bottom lineally would have been like, well, I mean, he maybe gives you a pretty good chance of winning a natty. But it would have been very annoying to have to do the mental gymnastics to explain why I was excited for Urban Meyer. It is so easy to explain why I'm excited for Brian Kelly.